Truly large and powerful waves are something few ever get to experience. And I'm not talking about the waves at Nazare, which deserve their own video entirely. I'm talking about the waves you get when you are deep in the middle of the ocean. Waves that are as wide as they are tall and seem to go on forever. More often than not, these waves occur when nobody is around. But of course, there are people out there who have seen firsthand just how powerful waves can be. From giant tankers traversing the open sea to people just trying to relax on a cruise ship, here are 10 huge waves that were caught on camera. The North Sea is notorious for its large, powerful, and heavy waves. However, it's not until you see them on video that you really get a feel for just how massive they truly are.
Shut the f*** up! That's fucking awesome!
You would think that this would be a terrifying experience, but judging by the laughter, this must be a rather common occurrence. Even just watching a video of the wave is enough to send a shiver down your spine, and this guy can't get enough. And if this video doesn't give you a good idea of just how big some waves are, then why don't we take a look from a different perspective. Many of the wave videos on this list come from the perspective of someone on board the ship, so perhaps you're still having trouble imagining just how big these waves truly are. Well, one brave sailor posted a unique video onto Instagram showing one such ship trying to traverse a humongous wave. It almost looks like the ship is about to dive underneath the water. I could not imagine how it must feel for the sailors who are on board. It just goes to show what fine pieces of engineering these machines truly are. However, boats are only the beginning of things in the sea that need to be built well enough to survive an onslaught of waves. Working on an oil rig is a dangerous job for several reasons. The least of which is that the structure you're standing on will inevitably be pummeled with massive waves. That's especially true if your oil rig happens to be in the North Sea, which regularly sees waves like this. Oil rig workers make a ton of money, and once you see that video, it makes sense why. They have to deal with precarious positions that most people wouldn't want anything to do with. But this is probably just an average day on the Dunbar oil rig. How about we look at something not so common, like riding a boat over a tsunami wave. In March of 2011, an earthquake took place off the coast of Japan. This resulted in a massive tsunami striking the country and overall devastating the region. A lot of video footage came out in the aftermath of people documenting the tragedy, but one video offers a unique perspective of the event. A ship from the Japanese Coast Guard captured footage of the massive tsunami waves being created as a result of the earthquake. You can see them forming from a distance, and it's not long before the ship travels right over them. The tsunami swept across mainland Japan and took the lives of thousands of people. It also resulted in nuclear accidents, including level 7 meltdowns at 3 reactors in the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. let's take a step back from tragedy and go back to some massive waves hitting vessels out at sea. Many ships take a beating when they head out into the open sea. See for yourself in this clip of a huge vessel having to contend with a freak wave that measures nearly 100 feet in height. It's an amazing video, and it really makes you think about people who traversed the open seas centuries ago. They must have faced the same kind of waves, and they had to keep sailing in wooden ships for that matter. Of course, sailors these days have much better equipment at their disposal, but still, it doesn't make such encounters any more pleasant. But, as you're about to learn, some people who sail on boats often just get used to such waves. One brave sailor posted a video of some massive waves in the North Sea that occurred in February of 2020. You really get a sense of how rough it can be out in the open sea from the initial footage, showing the ship rock heavily back and forth. The camera person then rushes over to the stern of the ship to see how everything is holding up on the other side. The person on board also took the time to answer some questions about the experience. When someone commented that it must have been terrifying on board, they responded with, "It was quite enjoyable. You get used to it after a bit." Granted, it's hard to imagine anyone enjoying the waves in this next clip. Cruises are supposed to be a relaxing way to vacation. All you're supposed to do is hang out by the hot tub, eat all the food you want, and get tipsy. You definitely don't expect to experience a wave like this. In this video, you can see members of the crew looking out the window. It's dark and choppy outside, so everyone seems to be on high alert. One second, everything is smooth sailing, and the next, well, see for yourself. The video cuts out shortly after the impact. These kinds of waves are definitely not what one would expect while on a cruise ship, and although not that uncommon, it definitely kills the fun. But when you're on an actual expedition, you kind of just have to roll with the punches. The Aurora Australis is a vessel measuring 311 feet in length. On one fateful voyage, the ship was making a trek from Australia to Antarctica when it encountered a wave measuring over 45 feet in height. The video points out the wave in the distance, and it's coming right for the ship. Fortunately, no severe damage was done to the ship. The Aurora Australis has been sailing the high seas for decades now, and it's likely seen far worse than one big wave. Perhaps the people on the Aurora Australis can swap sea tales with the crew of this next ship. This next video comes to us from off the coast of West Africa. A small bulk carrier was making its way through the ocean. As you can see from the video, the sky is a murky gray. The sea looks choppy, and the vessel is about to come face to face with a huge wave no one wants to contend with. The camera person knows they're about to have a bad time as they zoom in off in the distance. There's nothing to do at this point but to keep going. The ship comes into contact with a massive wave and it crashes down onto the bow of the vessel.
Давай!
The camera is drenched, but when you work on such a ship, it's just another day at the office. Even when you're in a massive boat, like in the next video, a big wave could be enough to send shivers down your spine. For our last video, let's take a look at a tanker that was nearly 750 feet in length and had to ride through a hurricane-force storm. The waves were around 40 feet in height and absolutely pummeled the vessel. The cameraman rotates the camera a full 360 degrees so you see what kind of conditions the ship is facing from all around. Everywhere you look, it's like something out of a nightmare. The camera person then turns their attention toward the side of the ship where you really get a sense of how big these waves are in comparison to the vessel. To make matters worse, winds were traveling at 89 miles per hour. It's a scary sight, but it's the kind of thing you sign up for when you take one of these jobs. From rogue waves to predicted storms, waves at sea can be unimaginably big. Did any of these videos make you think twice about getting on a ship again? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to click the link on screen to check out 5 ship launches that went horribly wrong. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.